The Weeping Glass. The mirrors in Manhattan began weeping at 3:33 a.m. on a Tuesday that would later be struck from all calendars. Donna Troy stood before the bathroom mirror in her Hell's Kitchen apartment, watching crimson tears streak down the silvered surface. The liquid pooled at the base of the frame, too thick to be water, too warm to be anything natural. She'd awakened to the sound, a soft, rhythmic dripping that seemed to echo from every reflective surface in the city. "Not again," she whispered, her reflection fractured by the bloody rivulets. Behind her own image, something else moved. A shadow that shouldn't exist, wearing a face she'd hoped never to see again. The shadow spoke with a voice like grinding bone. "The judgment has begun, Starspawn. Your kind's reprieve ends tonight." Donna's hands clenched into fists, the Amazon strength in her veins responding to the familiar threat. "Harbinger, I thought you were destroyed." "Destroyed," the shadow thing laughed. A sound like children's screams played backward. "I am consequence made manifest. I am the weight of every sin your precious humans have committed. You merely delayed the inevitable." Through the weeping glass, Donna could see the city beyond her window transforming. Street lamps flickered and died, their light replaced by an unholy phosphorescence that made the very air seem to crawl. Car alarms wailed in harmony, creating a symphony of urban terror. "What do you want?" Donna asked, though she already knew. Judgment. Punishment. An end to the cosmic joke that is human existence. The Harbinger's form solidified slightly, revealing the terrible fusion of flesh and void that comprised its being. They poison their world, murder their children, wage war in the name of gods who've abandoned them. "Tell me, Amazon, what virtue remains worth preserving?" Donna turned away from the mirror, but the Harbinger's presence followed her. Every reflective surface in the apartment, windows, the television screen, even the polished surface of her coffee table, showed the entity's writhing form. "There's still good in them," she said, though her voice lacked conviction. She'd seen too much darkness in her years as a hero, too many failures of human compassion. "Is there? Look closer." The mirrors shimmered, showing scenes from across the city. The businessman stepping over a homeless veteran. Politicians lying with practiced ease. Children teaching other children to hate. Each image was a small cruelty, a tiny betrayal of the better angels of human nature. "You see," the Harbinger's voice grew stronger, more seductive. "They are a cancer upon the cosmos. They spread suffering wherever they go. Even you, Starspawn, have grown weary of protecting them." Donna's reflection caught her eye, not in the bloody mirror, but in the dark window overlooking the street. She looked tired, older than her years. How many times had she risked everything for people who couldn't be bothered to save themselves? "They're flawed," she admitted. "But they're also capable of what? Love?" "Look again." The scene in the mirror shifted to show a family dinner. At first glance it seemed normal. Parents and children gathered around a table. But as Donna watched, she saw the subtle cruelties, the father's dismissive gesture toward his wife, the mother's sharp words to the youngest child, the older siblings' casual mockery. Even in their most intimate moments, humans wounded each other. "Every relationship is a battlefield," the Harbinger continued. "Every act of so-called love is corrupted by selfishness, jealousy, control. They cannot help themselves. It is their nature." Outside, the sounds of the city were changing. Sirens wailed continuously now, and she could hear screaming, not of terror but of rage. The Harbinger's influence was spreading, stripping away the thin veneer of civilization to reveal the animal beneath. "You're amplifying their worst impulses," Donna realized. "I am merely removing their restraints. The evil you see is entirely their own." Through the window, she watched neighbors turning on each other. A woman attacked her own husband with a kitchen knife. Children threw stones at passing cars. The city was devouring itself from within. "This is what they are without their precious rules and laws," the Harbinger whispered. "Monsters, predators, a species that deserves extinction." Donna closed her eyes, but she could still see the chaos reflected in every surface. The Harbinger was right about one thing: humanity's capacity for evil was breathtaking. She'd spent years fighting to protect them, and for what? So they could continue their cycles of cruelty. "You're considering it," the Harbinger said, its voice almost gentle now. "The peace that would come if they were simply gone. No more suffering, no more injustice, no more disappointment." "They're not all like that," Donna said, but her words sounded hollow even to her own ears. "Aren't they? Show me one, just one, human who is purely good." The mirrors flickered, showing her memories of the heroes she'd worked with. Superman, who'd once considered destroying all nuclear weapons without regard for the global consequences. Batman, whose obsession with justice had driven him to paranoia and isolation. Wonder Woman, her own sister who'd killed in cold blood when diplomacy failed. "Even your fellow champions are flawed," the Harbinger noted. "They claim to protect humanity, but they stand apart from it, above it. They are no more human than you are, Starspawn. Donna opened her eyes and met the Harbinger's gaze in the bloody mirror. Then why do you need my permission? The entity's expression shifted, surprise flickering across its non-features. What? If humanity is truly beyond redemption, why haven't you already destroyed them? Why show me these visions? Why try to convince me? She stepped closer to the mirror, her own reflection wavering. You need something from me. The Harbinger's form began to writhe more violently. You are the Starspawn, the bridge between mortal and divine. Your blessing legitimizes the judgment. Without it, you're just another monster, another force of destruction with no moral authority. Donna smiled grimly. You need me to believe they deserve this. They do deserve it, the Harbinger's voice rose to a shriek. Look at what they've done, look at what they're doing right now. The mirrors showed the chaos outside intensifying. Bodies lay in the streets, buildings burned, the city was consuming itself in an orgy of violence. This is their choice, the entity raged. I've simply removed their inhibitions. No, Donna said quietly. You've removed their hope. She walked to the window and looked down at the street below. A young mother clutched her child, shielding him from the chaos. Even as madness raged around her, she was trying to protect something precious. A few blocks away, she could see emergency workers still trying to help the wounded, despite the danger to themselves. They're not perfect, Donna said. They're selfish and cruel and short-sighted, but they're also capable of sacrifice, of love, of change. Pretty words, the Harbinger snarled. But words won't save them from themselves. You're right, Donna agreed. Words won't, but choice will. She turned back to the mirror, meeting the entity's gaze directly. That's what you really fear, isn't it? Not their evil, their potential for good. You need them to be irredeemable because if they're not, then you're just a cosmic bully. The Harbinger's form began to waver. They will destroy themselves eventually. With or without my help, maybe. But that's their choice to make, not yours, and not mine. Donna raised her hand, power flowing through her Amazon heritage, her connection to the stars themselves. The bloody tears on the mirrors began to evaporate, the crimson fading to clear reflection. You cannot stop me, the Harbinger protested, but its voice was weaker now. I don't have to stop you, I just have to refuse you. The entity's scream shattered every mirror in the apartment, but its power was already dissipating. Without Donna's sanction, without the moral authority it craved, the Harbinger was just another nightmare fleeing from the dawn. Outside, the phosphorescent glow faded from the streets. The sounds of violence gradually gave way to confusion, then to the more familiar noises of a city waking up, sirens still wailing, but now with purpose. Help was coming. Donna looked at herself in the broken mirror, her reflection fragmented into a dozen pieces. Each shard showed a different aspect of her face: warrior, protector, doubter, believer. She was all of these things, just as humanity was all of its contradictions. Her phone buzzed with emergency alerts. The city would need heroes today, people willing to help it heal from the night's madness. The work would be thankless, often futile. The people she saved would return to their small cruelties and casual indifferences, but some of them would also return to love, to hope, to the endless imperfect struggle to be better than they were. Donna Troy, the Starspawn, the bridge between mortal and divine, smiled at her fractured reflection and began to dress for another day of protecting a species that didn't deserve salvation, but might someday earn it. The mirrors had stopped weeping. That was enough. Outside her window, the sun rose over Manhattan, painting the wounded city in shades of gold and possibility. In the growing light, the shadows that had seemed so permanent began to fade, and the work of being human, flawed, struggling but stubbornly hopeful, began again.